right, story time. We're gonna tell a quick story about how I absolutely just rigged the Wisconsin school system into giving me D's and C's for my entire school year. So, when you go to school, apparently, there's what, 165 days in a school year? I went to a total of 102 days of school. Now, you may be asking, how can you miss 70 some odd days of school? Easy. You don't go, but when you do go, you ace every single test. I don't know how I was able to do it, but basically I would just not show up for 3-4 days out of the week and then pop in for test days. And I would get B's or A's on every test I had. So in Wisconsin, testing counts for a majority of your grade. And when I was in my junior year, I was having a lot of difficulties. I was in and out of psychiatric care. I was having a lot of problems. And so the school kind of took pity on me, I guess. When senior year came around, I had senioritis. Senioritis is when you just don't want to do anything because it's your senior year. And as long as you get passing grades, they don't really care. And so basically, I missed the first month of school except for 3 days, which were literally the first tests. And then after that, I would just skip out until one of my friends or one of my classmates would shoot me a text and say, hey, yo, there's a test in school on this day. And I would just show up for my tests. Now, this doesn't mean that you can just leave school, right? This doesn't mean that you can just not study and not do anything, right? You have to still study outside of school. I wasn't just acing these tests because I was big brain. No, I can't learn inside of a school environment. And a lot of people have that problem. A lot of people have the issue of not being able to learn in a large classroom kind of thing. No, I was better off at home, reading my books on my own, studying on my own, and then I would come in on days where we had tests. I would sit down, I would ace a test, and then I'd just leave. And it was only for the classes that I had tests. That's why, you know, I mean, even if I showed up, which I believe in total for my senior year was 102 days. Even if I showed up for a day, I was there for a class, and then I would just leave. And then the truancy officers started to come around. They weren't too happy with the fact that I was just not showing up to class. So truancy officers started showing up at my house. They started looking for me, and I found out that I could just go for a walk and not be around my house during the school day. And they did catch me once. They did catch me once, and they're like, "Hey, you're supposed to be in school." And I was like, "Yeah, you're right. And then they took me to my class, and I basically sat there for a half day. But the very next day, I didn't show up. And yeah, basically nothing happened. I graduated with D's and C's. The fact it took them that long to be like, honestly, I was kind of amazed. Now, I found out that they were looking for me pretty regularly. Like some of my teachers gave up, right? Some of my teachers gave up. One of my teachers didn't give a and labeled me as there just every day. They just put me down as in class every day. And it was the class I rarely showed up to. I think I maybe went there under 100 days without a doubt. That teacher probably saved me single-handedly from the truancy officers. When I ended up going in there, and they gave me my final grades and everything like that. It told me how many days of school I showed up for. It told me how many days I showed up to school, and every other class was like 110 down to like 80, right? Yeah, this one just straight said like 170 something days, and I was like, nope, no, that definitely didn't happen because I took a trip up north. I took a small vacation without ever going into school. I just went up north. Nobody called me out. And that was another thing. My school was okay. If you were 18 years old and a senior and you wanted to call yourself out of school, you could. What kind of school does that, bro? I had them on speed dial. I'd call them 6 in the morning like, hey, yo, yeah, I got a doctor's appointment. I'm not going to be in today. Click. And they're just like, yeah, oh yeah, no, yeah, just deuces. I'm out. And yeah, D's and C's. Later, I'm walking across the stadium and getting my diploma and getting the fuck out of there. I called myself out at 18 all the time. I'm just saying, dude, that is dangerous, bro. I think I used it like, oh my God, way too often. I mean, way too. I would literally wait. I'd have an alarm set and I'd just be like, hey, not coming in today. Sorry. And then I just like click and that was the end of it. I don't think I did a single day of homework unless it was like a project. Okay, projects like, cause they're like a majority of your grade type stuff. Yeah. But yeah, no, definitely didn't show up to way too many days of school and still walked away with a diploma. How? Homework at my school is beyond important. Late days will fucking murder me. Homework at my school is like 15% of your grade. I mean, yeah, that's no small feat, but like tests were what, 45%, and then projects were like, I want to say 30%, and then just showing up was like 10%. So like no homework and not showing up, you're still, if you ace your projects and tests, you're still walking away with 75%. Do you regret not going to school? No, not in the least. I mean, there's definitely things like I didn't do in school that I probably should have done, like my SATs. Never took an SAT. For those of you out there that may know what an ASVAB is, though, I did take one of those. If anyone knows what the ASVAB is, I still to this day remember my score for the ASVAB. See, this is what bothered my parents, right? Because I've taken the ASVAB 3 times in my life. I've taken it 3 different times. Once junior year, once at the end of senior year, and once 2 years out of high school. And let's just put it this way. For some reason, I've just progressively gotten better at my ASVAB. So that is something to let sink in. You're using words I've never heard of in Bulgaria. So Bucky, basically the SAT is like an IQ test, all right? It's like, it's supposed to tell you how smart you are, which is fucking bullshit. Okay, any IQ test, any SAT, anything like that does not tell you how smart you are. Just because you scored a high score on your SAT does not mean you're fucking smart, all right? I hate people that live their life off of their SAT scores or their IQ scores. Bro, you are so full of the people that are like, oh, I scored a 135 on my IQ test. Just means you're good at taking tests, you moron. Exactly, Doug. It just means you're good at taking tests, okay? I feel like if I took like my SAT or I took an IQ test when I was in high school, I probably would have slapped that. Why? Because I'm good at taking tests, okay? I'm good at taking tests. Otherwise, yeah, I'm a failure. All right, I'm not a smart man. I have an entire Twitch stream to prove that. But like, yeah, no, I'm good at taking tests. It's so dumb. It's so dumb. So it's basically pointless. 100%. Wisdom, knowledge, and study memory are all different. Exactly. Wisdom is experience. It's something you've learned over time. Knowledge is, to me, knowledge is something you're born with. You know, that's your common sense. That's that kind of stuff. And then study memory, that's just shit you're taught in high school, bro. High school, college, whatever. Some of his classes when we're 900 per class. Oh, that. And then I'm sitting here going, man, I kind of want to go back to college. I want to go to college, right? Because I did a little bit of college. I went to a community college for like a year, and it was the worst moment of my life. Hated it. Hated every second of it. It was just high school, except I was paying for it. Nah, I'm good. I studied for my SATs, and I feel I did worse by trying to study. But I feel like people almost waste too much time on studying. And these are very hot takes, okay? These are very hot takes. Nobody take this to heart and run away with it. But like, I feel like people definitely spend too much time studying. You know, you're not gonna, you want to learn, you want to truly learn, you know, you'd be better off going and like experiencing these things.